Hey auto enthusiasts, welcome to a video that is not for the faint of heart. We're diving into the world of automobiles to reveal the worst cars that you should never buy. These are the vehicles that should be avoided at all costs. Before we start, like and subscribe if you would buy this Audi for $1. Let's get started. Fiat 500L. The Fiat 500L is like that friend who always disappoints you. It's one of the worst cars on the market for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, it's unreliable. You'll be seeing the mechanic more frequently than you'd like, which is a bummer. The inside appears to have been crammed too much into a small space, resulting in a cramped and uncomfortable ride. And don't even get me started on the back seat. Your passengers will beg for mercy. To put it mildly, the engine is underpowered. It will not provide you with the thrilling drive that you seek. Handling? It's forgettable for sure. Plus, the fuel efficiency is unimpressive. Safety? Meh. Overall build quality? Disappointing as well. It's safe to say the Fiat 500L isn't taking any awards there. It may look all cute and all, but it's just not worth it. Mitsubishi Mirage. Let's talk about the Mitsubishi Mirage, which has a reputation for being one of the worst cars on the road. It's like that Netflix show you thought that it would be good but ended up being a letdown. The Mirage promises low prices but delivers nothing else. Its engine lacks power, making merging onto highways a nerve-wracking matter. The decor feels like that of the early 2000s, with poor materials and the absence of modern technology. Handling? It's about as thrilling as watching paint dry. There's also the issue of safety. It's not quite a fortress on wheels, and while the low price might tempt you, don't be fooled. You get what you pay for, and in this case, it's not much. The Mirage leaves you wanting more in practically every segment, which is why it's regarded as one of the worst automobiles available. Tesla Model X. The Tesla Model X may appear to be a great ride from the outside, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows on the inside. It appears to be a fine concept, but it turns out to be more hassle than it's worth. First and foremost, there's a question of quality control. For a car within this pricing range, you'd expect excellent build quality, yet several Model X owners have complained about annoying issues like misaligned doors and various panel gaps. Although cool, the Falcon Wing doors are prone to malfunction, not to mention the difficulty of obtaining spare parts without breaking the bank. Its high cost and occasional peculiarities cause it to fall short of the hype. So, while it has that cool factor, it's far from ideal and definitely not for everyone. Dodge Caliber. The Dodge Caliber, this car is on the list of the worst cars for many reasons. First and foremost, it is a masterclass in low-cost materials on the inside. You'd assume that you were in a cheap motel rather than an automobile. When you get on the road, you'll notice the poor handling and bumpy ride quality right away. The engine selections are disappointing, leaving you wanting for more power. Let's talk about the braking system. Some owners have complained about brake problems, which is a big safety risk. When your brakes aren't working properly, it's like watching a movie with an unpredictable ending. You're constantly on the edge. In a nutshell, the Dodge Caliber's terrible interior, dull performance, and alleged braking issues make it one of the worst cars on the road. Audi A4. Okay, let's talk about the Audi A4 from 2009 to 2011, a car that falls short of expectations. While it bears the iconic Audi logo, these model years had a number of serious flaws. To begin with, it has notorious oil consumption difficulties. The A4 from this era is known for guzzling oil, which can lead to expensive engine problems if not handled quickly. Working with these cars is also like navigating a maze. They're famously tough to repair, which makes you feel like you're constantly paying for repairs. So while the Audi A4 appears elegant and sophisticated on the outside, the oil consumption and repair issues make it less than ideal as a long-term pick. Early 2000s Subaru. While most may disagree on this, I have to mention the early 2000s Subaru, a car era with its own set of quirks. It's like that old video game console you remember fondly, but when you turn it on now, you wonder what the big deal was. These Subarus had their moments, but they also had some drawbacks. Firstly, there are concerns with the head gasket. Many owners had leaks and overheating nightmares as a result of head gasket problems. The interiors were monotonous, and reliability was also not one of their strong suits. For many Subaru owners at the time, frequent repairs and maintenance were the standard. While they had their appeal, the early 2000s Subaru is a reminder of the quirks and difficulties that often come with older automobiles, making them one of the less than ideal selections from their era. Ford Fiesta 2015. Let's talk about the 2015 Ford Fiesta, a car that seemed promising but ended up being a disappointment. Firstly, the dual-clutch automatic gearbox was a disappointment. It seemed clunky, like a teen learning to drive a stick shift for the first time. The infotainment system was more confusing than helpful. Additionally, the inside quality did not scream premium and felt somewhat cheap. The Fiesta was prone to frequent repairs, particularly with the transmission. That's a rollercoaster trip you didn't ask for. While the 2015 Ford Fiesta had its charms, it also had several severe problems that earned it a top spot among the worst cars of its generation. It teaches us not to judge a book by its cover. Mini Cooper and Countryman. Let's talk about the Mini Cooper, a car that's been praised as the embodiment of chic and trendy, but it's not without its flaws. It's like that trendy pair of shoes that look terrific, but are difficult to walk in. Mini Coopers have had their ups and downs over the years. They have their fair share of issues that might leave you with large repair expenses. While the tiny size is appealing, it can rapidly become a disadvantage due to the lack of capacity, particularly in the back seat and trunk. When you're attempting to use it for daily purposes, this can get quite bothersome. In terms of driving experience, some models feel harsh on the road. Ford Pinto. The Ford Pinto is like that infamous villain in a blockbuster movie, famous for all the wrong reasons. What makes it one of the worst automobiles in history? Safety, or rather its absence. The Pinto's gas tank was notoriously placed in such a way that it was subject to rupture in rear-end crashes, thereby turning the car into a ticking time bomb. It wasn't exactly a speed demon in terms of performance either. The weak engines of the Pinto struggled to create an excitement on the road. To be fair, it had a cute and compact design, but the safety hazards were just too obvious to overlook. It serves as a reminder that safety should always be a non-negotiable consideration when developing and manufacturing automobiles. Chevrolet Aveo. The Chevrolet Aveo has earned a reputation as one of the worst cars to avoid due to several critical shortcomings. Its build quality is often criticized for being subpar, with interior materials feeling cheap and prone to premature wear. Performance-wise, the Aveo's engine options lack power and refinement, resulting in sluggish acceleration and an overall lackluster driving experience. Inside, the cabin is cramped and uncomfortable, offering limited space for both front and rear passengers, along with seats that lack support. Safety is another concern, as the Aveo typically receives poor ratings in crash tests and lacks advanced safety features found in newer vehicles. Additionally, reliability issues are common, ranging from transmission problems to electrical and suspension issues, leading to costly repairs over time. And at last, we've got the Nissan Cube. The Nissan Cube is like that eccentric friend who is just a little too old for your liking. It's regarded as one of the worst vehicles for a number of reasons. First, its unusual boxy appearance divided opinion. Some admired it, while others found it difficult to appreciate. While large, the interior felt uninspired with cheap materials. The Cube's underpowered engine left a lot to be disliked on the road, making highway merging a real chore. Furthermore, its handling was uninspiring. Overall, it's a car that wanted to be unique but ended up being awkward and impractical, earning its spot among the automotive world's less appealing options. Now you know which are the worst cars, but do you know how to make your car sound better? Check these 3 cheap and easy ways to make your car sound better.